the 5 most searched questions by people who are about to become dads. Hi there, my name's James, and thank you so much for checking out my YouTube channel. If you've just found out you're a dad, don't panic, it's gonna be amazing. If you've just become a dad, I hope you're getting some sleep, I hope you don't feel you're constantly in the doghouse, and I hope someone has taken the time to tell you you're doing much better than you think you are.
Why did the tap dancer have to retire? He kept falling in the sink.
I first became a dad on the 8th of November 2012. We now have 3 children, our eldest child being 13, our middle one being 11, and our youngest being 7. Question number 1. Am I ready to become a dad? I don't think anyone ever feels ready to become a dad. You will never feel like you have enough money. You will never feel like your relationship is in a strong enough position. You will never feel like you live in a nice enough or big enough home. You'll never feel like your job is secure enough. All I would say, if and when it happens to you, it is a genuine blessing. And you might find it's the one thing in your life that you're actually really good at, or much better than you thought you would be. Having a child is often a major change to all the dimensions of your life. It will completely change your identity. It will completely change how much sleep you get. But the thing I would try and remember is that people have been doing this for thousands of years. And if I look back at where I was in my life, in 2012, I think I was unemployed. I was living in a 2-bedroom basement flat in Brighton. I spent the majority of my time in board shorts and flip-flops, and I wasn't really sure where I was going with my life. And actually, I think becoming a dad was the kick up the arse I needed to find that extra gear to improve myself. When you become a dad, you will fall in love with your child. And don't be surprised if they become the main reason that you want to improve. When my daughter was born, I remember looking around and thinking, this isn't good enough. She deserves better. And from that point, I worked harder and I got better jobs and I earned more money and we bought a nicer house and a more reliable car. It is worth looking at what you have financially, where you live, how your relationship is, because bringing a baby into a world where you get on very well with your partner and you have some savings and you live in a nice, safe house and where you live is comfortable does make a difference. One of the main things I think you need to consider before having a child is your relationship with your partner, because it will change massively. And one of the best bits of advice is don't have a child with someone you don't genuinely like. Obviously, you have to fancy them, otherwise the whole conversation about having a child is fairly academic. But I can promise you, when neither of you have had any sleep for weeks, your partner's default setting is tracksuit bottoms and a sour milk stained t-shirt, and you're constantly in the doghouse, if your relationship isn't built on more than physical attraction, you may struggle. Becoming a parent will challenge you both in ways you can't possibly comprehend until it happens. It's important you're on the same page, have a similar work ethic, both have a sense of humour, and both generally like each other. And this leads on nicely to question number 2, how should I prepare for becoming a father? Well, obviously, this is a perfect time for me to plug my book, First Time Dad. If you want to buy, you can get via this website. One of the main reasons I wrote this book is because there wasn't much in the way of literature to support dads, especially regarding mental health, which is something I've struggled with on and off my entire life. In regards to how you can best prepare for fatherhood, do you have some savings? Do you have a job? Do you have somewhere to live? There is so much with becoming a parent that you can't plan. Your life will become quite chaotic, but there are some things you can plan. If you're the middle flat and have neighbours above and below who are either banging on their floor to tell you to be quiet, or you're banging on their ceiling to please ask to turn the music down, it might not be the best environment for a newborn baby. There are some practical baby care skills that you will probably only learn once you become a dad. Changing nappies, general cleaning, feeding. But that said, you can get support from books like mine. And no doubt there are all sorts of tutorials online to show you how to feed a baby, or bath a baby, or put a baby to bed. The problem is, your baby will be unique. And I'm pretty sure every baby needs a very specific type of support, which unfortunately you can only really learn when they're here. I would also say your emotional state is an important thing to take into consideration. As someone who struggled with mental health for a long time, I actually found that becoming a dad gave me the grit and determination to kind of sort myself out a bit. Drink less during the week, get to bed in a more reasonable time, eat a bit cleaner. What might be worth doing, if you have brothers and sisters or friends with young children, ideally babies, who you can babysit for an evening, or maybe take to the park so they can have some much needed time together, it might show you both how you are when you suddenly have to look after a baby together. And question number 3, and I think probably the biggest question, What will becoming a dad do to my life? Because I think that's the most profound question you can possibly ask. And there'll be a completely different answer for everyone. Becoming a parent has been the best thing that's ever happened to me. It's improved my relationship with my wife. It's helped me find skills I didn't realize I had. It's given me a drive to be better than I am for my children. And it's made me work way harder than I would do just for myself. When you become a dad, life will never be the same again. Your free time will evaporate and your priorities will shift. The identity shift of becoming James to becoming someone's dad can be emotional and challenging. I've read lots of articles that basically said that men were utterly surprised how much they changed, how much their fundamental wants and needs changed, their core values on life changed once they became a dad. Becoming a dad will also change your relationship with your partner, which is why it's really important, although this may sound utterly obvious, that you actually are with someone who you think would support you when times get difficult. Are you with someone who would stand by you if you lost your job? Are you with someone who would stand by you if your mental health got bad and you were really struggling? Are you with someone who has a good work ethic, who has a good sense of humor? Do you share core values? Are you with someone who wants a family? It might sound very unromantic, but sitting down and having these big conversations with someone might be one of the most important things you ever do before contemplating becoming a parent. And the fourth most searched question on fatherhood: how can I be a good dad? From my 13 or so years of experience, have a good sense of humor, keep working hard, make sure you're not the weak link in the partnership, don't go to bed on an argument, be kind to yourself as much as you are to other people, accept that some things happen that quite often are completely out of your control, and just accept that parenting is incredibly hard. So there are going to be days where you feel like you're not very good at it. I think if you're answering the question, how can I be a good dad? It's sometimes easier to ask the question, what doesn't make a good dad? Good dads take responsibility. Good dads aren't late. Good dads tell the truth. Good dads work hard. Good dads make the effort. Good dads support their partners. Good dads offer to do the night feed even when it's not their turn. Good dads bite their lip when their wife, who in your mind has been at home all day, asks you, who's been at work all day, to get milk on the way home. It's like anything in life. Keep turning up, keep being positive, and keep working hard. That's basically the advice I would give. And the fifth question most searched online in regards to fatherhood: what if I struggle? How do I cope with the challenges? You will have challenges. That is the only guarantee. And as I said in previous answers, a sense of humor is important. Some days just accept that some days were crap and try not to make the same mistakes tomorrow. Look after yourself, get good sleep, try and eat healthily, try not to drink too much. I promise you the first hangover you will have after becoming a parent will be brutal. Coping with the challenges that you are experiencing as a parent will be much easier if the person you're doing them with is on your side. Life as a dad is going to throw all sorts of crap your way. If your partner is nitpicking and giving you a hard time, talking you down, it will be fairly impossible. And as I talk about in my book, sorry for plug number 2, becoming a parent can have a significant impact on your mental health, just for the fact that you're not getting as much sleep. And if, like me, you're someone who has an existing mental illness, it's really important to be aware of your mental health. I found that taking up the hobby of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu a few years after becoming a dad was really good, really helped me stay in some shape and improve my mental health, improve my resilience, and gave me some time away so that I really appreciated the time I spent with my family, as well as making sure that as much as you can, you and your partner are on the same page and you're supporting each other through the difficult parts of parenting. It's really important to try and join a community of other like-minded men. If you get on particularly well with the men on an antenatal class, stay in touch with them. No one is going to understand the challenges and struggles any better than another man who's in exactly the same position as you. One of the major things that appealed to me about training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is I made really good friendships with a number of dads who have kids the same ages as mine. It's basically free therapy. Now that I'm older, married with kids, do I have much more of a clue? Not particularly. What advice would I give to a younger man? Stockpile your sleep if you possibly can. Well, that's just silly. Try a daily cold shower, take up jiu-jitsu, put a little bit away. Focus on kindness, yourself included. And remember to seize the day.
Me and Neil really hope you got something from this video. And if you're a dad who would like to try and help me support other brand new dads by answering these 5 questions over a Zoom, please let me know in the comments. I hope wherever you are in the world, you're okay. Take care.